right, so it is nail clipping time in the Murtha household. I clip my dog's nails probably once a week, or if I'm lazy, maybe once every 2 weeks. Kaya, relax. So I'm going to show you, Kaya has nails that are white, so it's pretty easy to see her quick. But Remy and Ruby have black nails, and so I'm going to show you both and how I cut their nails, how I shape them, how short I go, and I'm also going to talk about what to do if you do cut their quick, because it is not the end of the world, and so many people are afraid of it, and it's really not that big of a deal as long as you don't make it a big deal. So, yeah, no cats, please. Kaya would like to chase the cats instead of lay here to get her nails clipped. Lay down, Kaya. So I have my dogs lay down. That's usually the easiest. So what you do is you just gently push out their nail. Kaya's nails aren't that bad, so I won't take too much off, but you can make a small cut at first, and then once you get a better view, you can kind of go around and shape the nail. You almost want to have an angle where the top goes backwards. And then what I do after I clip the nail, if your dog will let you, some dogs won't sit here long enough for that, and sometimes all you can do is get a clip and that's it. And that's totally fine, but I have a file, and this is kind of for my personal comfort, so that if she comes up and paws me or is naughty and jumps on me, it doesn't scratch as much, because when you first clip their nails, it is kind of sharp until they wear it down on concrete, but I'll give it a gentle file. Leave the cat, I know. She just wants the cat. She's not interested in what we're doing here. I'll file it, and like I said, you want the angle of the nail to almost go backwards, and I'll include a picture in this post of what I'm talking about in terms of the angle that you want with your dog's nails. But I just file it down a little bit, and then we move to the next nail. Leave it. No cats. Leave it. Leave it. Thank you. Leave it. Good girl. So then I move to the next nail, make a cut, and then I go around and I kind of shape it. I can see her quicks very, very easily. I don't know how well the camera picks this up. Hopefully pretty well. But I go as short as I can. And as you do it more and more, you'll get used to it. And if you accidentally cut the quick, you'll realize, oh, that was too short. You know, I won't go that short next time. But you get used to it over time, and you figure out, you know, you're able to almost predict where the quick starts. And then you can do it a lot quicker and a lot easier. Leave it. No cats. Kaya's definitely my most difficult dog when I do this, not because she hates getting her nails cut, but simply because she just wants the cats the whole time. All she wants to do is go chase the cats. She doesn't want to sit still long enough to get her nails cut. So that's my biggest problem with her, and I'm thankful for it. It's a good problem to have in comparison to her hating the actual nail clipping process, because that's really, really difficult when you have a dog that hates getting their nails cut. Like I said, if you can't get your dog to sit still long enough to file their nails at first, that's okay. This is really just for my own personal comfort. When you're cutting their nails, for some dogs that have their dew claws, don't forget to cut those as well. Those are usually the longest that I see in dogs, simply because people kind of forget that they're there, but they grow pretty quickly. All right, that's one paw down. Yeah, I know. Go for this dew claw. Clip that down. Do a quick file. Quick file. Good girl. Good job. And move to your nails. This one's pretty long. So let's see how well we can see this nail. Stay, girl. So like I said, white nails are easier. You can see where the pink kind of extends and it kind of rounds out and goes to a little bit of a point and then kind of stops. So I go just before, well, you can see that, yep. I go just before to make my first cut, and then now I can kind of see where that quick stops, and I can kind of go around and shape it up a little bit more and get even closer. You can always cut more, but you can't put it back. So you can make your first cut shorter if you're a little nervous, and then cut more off as you go. And then just file. If I had a Dremel, this would be a lot easier, but I can't find my Dremel. So that'll be another video for another day. But usually I have my nail clippers available and ready to go, and so I just use my nail clippers instead of anything else. Good girl. I know, Kaya. So this one is really hard to see where the quick is. It's just generally just a darker nail, but I can kind of use the previous nails to guess where that quick would be and cut in that spot, and then kind of round it out a little bit. And you can also kind of see, and you'll see this on your own dog when you cut their nails, but it becomes almost spongy, and you can see a dark spot in their nail once you've, oops, you can't even see what I'm doing. It becomes kind of spongy up in here, and there's a dark spot in their nail when you cut. That's where the quick starts, and that's where you know that you've gotten pretty much as short as you can go. All right, so those are her front paws. Her front paws are all done. Now we can kind of switch her around, get her back paws. Good girl, stay. Like I said, she's pretty used to this, so she's pretty comfortable. A lot of dogs don't like you touching their back paws. It's more of a trust thing. You're fine. Kaya, leave it. Good girl. So her back nails are always shorter than her front nails. They put more pressure on them, so they don't grow as long. So I'll just cut the tips off of these. They're not very long. Kaya, leave it. No, ma'am. No cats. Down. Kaya. Sit. Down. Thank you. Okay, relax. Stay. Good girl. So I usually have to go a little bit quicker on her back nails. She's not as tolerant with them as she is her front nails. But she does pretty well. This one's a little bit longer. In the back of on their back paws, the middle nail is always going to be the longest one because they put the least amount of pressure on that when they walk. This one's pretty short too. It doesn't really need much. She does not have rear dew claws. Some dogs do. Wait. Some dogs do, so just be mindful of that. And make sure you get those as well because they also grow and they need to be cut. My Ruby has rear dew claws, so I'll show you with her, you know, what we do with those, but it's the same as every other nail. All right. So I want to show you this nail because this gives you a really good visual of what I'm talking about when I say you can see the spot. Let's see. See if you can see it. Yeah. Kaya. No, ma'am. Come here. Wait. So you see that dot right in the middle of her nail? That's the quick. So that's how I know I've gotten as far as I can. If I cut any more, that dot would start to bleed because there are blood vessels in there that supply blood to the nail to help it grow. So that's how I know that I have gotten as far as I can go. Good girl, Kaya. So I don't file her back nails because they don't ever bother me because she doesn't use her back feet at all when she gives me her paw or whatever. So I don't file them. I don't fiddle with it. It's not that big of a deal. Break. And tell her break and she can get up and go. Now, Ruby, come here, girl. Ruby doesn't love getting her nails cut. She merely tolerates it, and that's okay. She's learned to just sit here, and it's over quicker when she does. So, let's look at her nails, see how long they are. All right, yeah, so they're pretty long. This is gonna be a lot harder to show you, so I apologize in advance. Try to get good lighting in here. So you can kind of see her nail there, how it's curved a little bit more than I would like. And so I will show you. When you look at their nails when they're black, you can almost see the part that's not the quick is shinier and a little bit darker than the base of her nail where the quick is. So I leave it, Ruby. I come in and I cut about that much. Perfect. So I make that first cut. Their nails should be, I could probably go a little bit shorter on hers, but not too much. But you can see now there's less of a curve to that nail. And if I look at it head on, and get it in the light, you can start to see where it gets a little spongy right here and it becomes a different color. That is indicative to me that the quick is near. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it a little bit more. It's okay, Rubes. Girls, stop playing over there. So I went ahead and I cut it back a little bit more. It's all right, Rubes. Ruby, leave it. Ruby. Good. So I went as far as I felt comfortable. I'm not going to go any further because if I put the nail up and expose the whole nail, that's pretty short. And I know that just based on the anatomy of a dog's nail, it's not going to go much shorter than that. So you learn over time what the nails should look like. Just gently file. Ruby's never had her nails filed, actually, so this is new for her. Good girl. Good job, Ruby. Good job. All right, so same thing here. Her nail is pretty long. It's really hard to show black nails. I'm so sorry, guys. Yep, her nail's pretty long, so we're gonna go in. Ruby, no ma'am. Go in and just cut that. So I made one cut, and I definitely know I can go shorter, so I'm going to do that. I'm gonna go a little bit shorter and a little bit shorter, and now I can definitely see her quick. So now I'm gonna stop. Now I can, and you'll get a good feel for it. I'm not gonna cut where her quick is now, but I am gonna angle the nail backwards like I show in the picture that I'll post with this video. Ruby, leave it. Ruby. Like I said, Ruby really is not a fan of getting her nails cut, but she puts up with it like a champ. All right. And so you just kind of play with it. I felt like I could go a little shorter. This is as far as I think I'm gonna go. But it's really important to get it as short as you can because the shorter you can get it, the shorter those quicks will recede, and they'll continue to recede, and so you won't have a dog with long quicks. My 12-year-old, we never kept up with his nails as well as we should have. We took him to a groomer every 6 weeks, but that's not enough for nails. Nails ideally should be done every 2 weeks, in my opinion. And so his quicks got really long, and now I can only cut his nails but so short without cutting the quick. So it's really important to get those quicks to recede. And the earlier you do this in your dog in terms of age, the better off you'll be. Somewhere buried in here, Ruby has her dew claw. Where is it? There it is. Give that a little cut. Ruby's dew claws are a little bit weird. They don't have very long quicks, like at all. Like I could actually probably cut it very short before the quick would start bleeding. I don't know why. She's just a little special. Perfect. All right, so I want to talk about one more thing, and that's what to do if you cut your dog's quick. I've kind of explained throughout this video, but the quick is the vascular part of your dog's nail. It's where the blood flows. And if you cut your dog's nail too short and you hit that quick, it will bleed. And it depends on the dog and how short you cut it, but sometimes it bleeds a significant amount, or it takes a little while to stop bleeding. So I want to explain what to do. First of all, do not panic. It is not the end of the world unless you make it the end of the world. So don't overreact. Don't baby your dog. Don't coddle your dog. Don't go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Here's a mouthful of treats. Oh my God, I feel awful. Oh my God. It's not like that. It feels kind of like a finger prick to them. So it's kind of like a stab of a pain for a second, and then it's over, and then it's just bleeding. So same thing as a finger prick. It's just kind of like, ooh, what was that? And then move on. When dogs react to you cutting their quick, it's a mixture of feeling that sudden like stab of a pain and also your reaction. So if you overreact, your dog is also going to overreact, and you're going to make it really hard on yourself for the next nail trim. So stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. I always recommend when you cut your dog's nails, back up Ruby, I always recommend that you have something like this. This is styptic powder, and basically it stops the bleeding almost immediately when you dip your dog's nail into it. And it's really, really great to have. It's pretty cheap and it lasts forever. Like this little container, unless I spill it accidentally, will last for a really long time. But I always have this when I cut dogs' nails. I don't care how many times I've cut a dog's nails and I know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter. I always have this because accidents happen. The dogs suddenly move right as you're clipping. You end up cutting shorter than you want, and this takes care of it, and so you don't have blood everywhere all the time. So what you would do, and I'm not going to cut Kaya's quick on purpose to show you. That's, of course, not nice. But what we're going to do, lay down, Kaya. Lay down. No more cats. All right. So it comes in this, and you can take this entire film off, but I don't like sticking their nail just in this. I like dumping it out onto the cap, and then all you do is you just stick your dog's nail in it, and you hold it there for a couple seconds. You take it out, have them lay down. Don't let them walk on it quite yet. They'll just scratch it back open. You can re-dip it if you need to. You can dust off the excess, and you wait until it stops bleeding. It's pretty quick. Like I said, you may have to dip it a second time, and then you just keep on going, finish the nails you need to cut. It's not that big of a deal.